Hey, you! Stop doing sit-ups now! Because in today's video I'm going to show you 3 exercises which are going to help you strengthen and build those abdominal muscles far better than sit-ups could on their own. What is going on, my friends? This is Jake of www.jgcalisthenics.co.uk, and before I dive into it, I just want to mention that for the best guidance for building six-pack abs with bodyweight training calisthenics, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications, because every Monday and Thursday I make new videos specifically for people like you, my friend. Right, so if you have been a crew member of Body Gains Train Express on this YouTube channel for a while, then you'll know that, of course, I'm not a big fan of sit-ups. You know, whether you've watched several of my videos on this channel already, or if you have watched my most popular video on this YouTube channel of what 100 sit-ups a day did to me when I was like 12 to 13 years old or something, which has almost 600,000 views to this day, which is a pretty crazy thinking about it. Because really one of the main points I emphasize in the video itself is that sit-ups really shouldn't be in your workout routine. You know, not just because of the fact that they're pretty damn boring, but when you're actually doing sit-ups, you're only training one part of your abs, which is of course your rectus abdominis. And the fact that obviously the intensity we can apply to sit-ups is very limited, and also the fact that it's not very good for your spinal health whatsoever. There are far more exercises and variations you can do out there where you can train your entire core, all of your abdominal muscles, so you can get way more results and more bang for your buck in less time. Do you see what I mean? So in this video, as I've said already, we're going to go through 3 exercises which are going to help you achieve that, which you can do with simply the power of your own body weight. And so the first exercise we're going to cover is the knee raise. And obviously there's, in bodyweight training, we could do the knee raises or leg raises, but here we're focusing on knee raises simply because if we were to do leg raises, it focuses more on hip mobility and hamstring flexibility. So when we focus on knee raises, whether that is doing it on dip bars or hanging overhead on a bar, we can really focus on the engagement and stimulation of getting our abs stronger and more visible over time. Do you see what I mean? Always make sure that with this you actually stabilize your body, right? Because if you don't stabilize your body throughout this exercise, obviously that's how we can create the habit of using excessive momentum and swinging back and forth. So obviously it kind of defeats the object of if we're just bending the knees and the hips and not actually really activating the abs, our results from the exercise are actually going to be compromised, which we don't want to be happening, do we? So what you want to make sure you're doing with this exercise, whether it's hanging or on dip bars, my friend, is to make sure that your body is tense from top to bottom, so you can focus more on the activation and stimulation in your abdominal muscles. Do you see what I mean? Further, you want to avoid arching the lower back into an anterior pelvic tilt when you do this exercise, because you're going to work more of the hip flexors and the hips and take a lot of the load off the abdominal muscles themselves. So from here, you want to posteriorly tilt the pelvis, so squeezing your glutes in to maintain a neutral spine. Obviously, when you do your knee raises like this, you'll feel a much greater contraction in your abs, and as a result, you're going to get way more results in the abs as a whole. Adding to this, you want to make sure you're pulling towards the chest, as that is going to help, again, create the tension, maximal tension in the abs, because when we focus more on pushing back with the hips once again, then it's going to be more of a hip exercise, right? We want to make this an abdominal exercise, my friend. So again, apply the cues I mentioned in this video, putting more up to the chest, and you'll be good to go. Oh, and one last thing with these exercises, my friend, whether you're doing them with dip bars or hanging overhead, you're gonna make sure that the scapula, i.e. your shoulder blades, are active and engaged in the exercise. You know what I mean? Because if we actually shrug the shoulders, right, we can put, you know, unnecessary strain and unwanted tension on the shoulders, which can set ourselves up for injury. And so if you're hanging, think of pulling the shoulder blades down and back into an active hang. And then if you're doing this on dip bars, think of protracting and depressing the scapula by pushing away from your body, because having your shoulders in a strong and healthy position will actually then allow you to actually create more of a stable base to then actually focus on overloading the abdominal and the core muscles themselves. Does that make sense? Now the second exercise that we can do for the abs that are far better than sit-ups is hollow body knee raises. And of course, I've got a tutorial on this YouTube channel on the hollow body as a whole, which you can check out right here, my friend. And so obviously, really with the hollow body, it's the same cues, very similar cues of what I've just mentioned in this video already. And as we're doing this lying on the floor, the absolute key is keeping that lower back fixed against the floor, right? The moment that lower back arches, my friend, stop the exercise, readjust, and make sure you're doing the exercise with your back flat. And if you're doing this with your back flat against the floor, that is awesome, my friend. And also what you want to consider from here is make sure that you don't turn this into a point where you're actually doing your knee raises with your body completely flat against the floor, because that's really going to greatly hinder the amount of tension that'll be placed on your abdominal muscles, right? So focus on really lifting your upper body up and your torso up, as well as your arms up, so you're more in a hollow body dish shape, right, rather than just being completely flat. You'll notice as you actually raise your body up, you'll feel way more tension and a contraction in the abs themselves, which of course indicates that you're going to be doing this right. So yes, it will be much harder by doing the exercise more correctly, but as a result, your abs are going to get way more stronger and way more visible as a result, which is what we want, don't we? And as you do the hollow body knee raise, we can make it easier or harder depending on your strength level by having your legs up higher and then pulling from there. That will make the exercise easier, whereas if your feet are closer to the ground, pulling in from there, then obviously the exercise is going to be harder because the leverage is harder to manage. Does that make sense? And also, what I'd be curious to know, my friend, is what exercise do you love to do? What is your favorite ab exercise that is far better than sit-ups? Comment down below, I'll be curious to know. Now the third and final exercise that is far better than sit-ups for training and building the abdominal muscles, which you may not have actually considered, is actually prioritizing your compound exercises, right? So with bodyweight and calisthenics, right, we're focusing on those push-up progressions, those pull-up progressions, and those squat progressions, and once those get comfortable, we progress to even more advanced variations so we can get stronger over time, right? Because all of these exercises require a large degree of core stability in the first place, right? So if we're progressing in these multi-joint exercises, which really stimulate the most muscle fibers and muscles as a whole at the same time, long term, your abs are actually going to get way more stimulation and growth from these exercises rather than all these poncy little isolation exercises for the abs you see on the internet nowadays. Trust me, my friend, I've done hundreds of sit-ups and hundreds of ab workouts to know this, right? So as I said, focus on getting stronger in your main compound multi-joint exercises and using the ab exercises that I've mentioned in this video as a supplement to that. Combine that with a good quality nutrition plan, and man, you'll be building those washboard abs you've always wanted in no time and actually finally see the results you desire, which is pretty cool, right?
I've been working with Jake for a while now, and when I first started, I really didn't know a whole lot about working out. I knew a little bit about nutrition, and that was it. That was perfectly okay. Since the beginning, I have learned so much about nutrition. I've learned about mindset. I've learned about working out. At first, some of the exercises didn't feel supernatural, but that went away really quickly. And within a couple of weeks, it was the workouts were a normal part of my routine, and the results have been great. I've lost a lot of weight. I can actually see my face slimming. I can see improvement in my body composition. I'm getting compliments from folks, and I'm putting on muscle. It's been a fantastic experience and one I would easily do again.
And so if you're looking for specific guidance and support within your own health and fitness, and you are serious about getting in the best shape of your life without having to go to an overcrowded gym if you don't want to, then I invite you to apply now for a free coaching call with me to see if my online coaching program, the Body Transformation Blueprint, is something that you'd like to commit to. Because as I'm recording this around late November to early December, I want to make sure that for my clients who are most committed to making a life transformational change in their life, get the most time and attention they deserve before a lot of my coaching spots fill up for the new year like they did last year. If you'd like to apply for a free coaching call, you can simply click the link in the description, or I may link up something here so I can easily direct you to the application. Does that make sense? And so, as I said, if you enjoyed this video and like my content, you enjoyed watching every single minute, every single second of this video, then make sure to give this video a cheeky thumbs up and comment down below what part of this video you found most valuable. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this with a friend or friend you believe would benefit from these gains, and as that is enough for me today, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, my friend, and as a crew member of the Gains Express, keep moving forward, my friend. Go build those abs, and I'll see you in the next video.